MyePEAK here. Today we're going to talk about your why. Oh yeah, so this one is an interesting one in the long phase of the learning how to live longer, right?
Yeah,
so
well,
it's interesting.
This is probably, well, not probably. This is the only way you make a change.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only way you make a change, because all of us are always going to go towards the easy route. It's just because, you know why? It's easy.
It's easy, right?
And so, but the easy route is not always the best route, especially when it comes to health. You know, swinging into Taco Bell every single day is not going to achieve your best health.
Right.
So the secret is real simple. Your why has to be greater than your why not.
Yes.
So
that's interesting.
When we say that, you know, a really simple way is to go dietary.
Yeah.
And about 17, 18 years ago, I went and listened to a guy, Dr. James Chestnut, a Canadian.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Canada.
Very fiery Canadian.
Yeah, good guy. But effectively, he talked, and it was the right timing. At this time, my mom's one of 10, and I was in a lot of poor health choices. Smokers, people drinking Coca-Cola like it's better than water. Well, I guess it is better than water, but you know, like Coca-Cola, crazy, eating potato chips, mashed potatoes, just really living a diabetic lifestyle. And I started to see people's health shifting. I started people getting sick. I started people losing limbs. I started seeing people going on dialysis. I started seeing all these things. So that's going on around me. And Dr. James Chestnut effectively says, hey, guess what? You know, health is a choice. And you've got to make healthy choices if you want to be healthy. And it doesn't guarantee healthy choices are going to guarantee perfect health, but it makes it much more likely. Yeah. And so what he shifted my headspace to was I had to have a why greater than my why not. Because I do, not as much as I used to, but I do like Coca-Cola. I do like potato chips. Yeah. And it's not that I never consume those things.
Sure, right.
But I consume them a whole lot less because here's my why. My why is really, really simple. Because as I watch these people getting sick, as I watch these people starting to develop these problems, at the same time I had to help people out of chairs, help people out of bed. I had to wipe the bottoms of people because this is what you got to do.
Yep. That's how it
when
goes.
They need help. And what I looked at my beautiful bride and I said, I love her like crazy and I love her so much, I don't want her to wipe my butt.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And if I make health choices today, the odds of her having to wipe my butt go down. They don't go away. I could get hit by a bus today.
Right.
But they go down. And so if I make some different choices today, not saying I never consume certain things or never do certain things, but if I do them less likely because my why is greater than my why not. I can go past, because I live right by a phenomenal donut place. I don't stop in there. I don't even consider stopping in there because my why is greater than my why not. My desire for my wife not to wipe my butt is greater than my desire for a donut.
Right.
That's how anyone makes a change. Is
Yeah,
you got to have your why greater than your why not.
And you see that in all wellness holistic paradigms, in anything you do, many things will work for you. The biggest thing is do we take the time? Do we do those things? If you're one of my things in the office here knows, if somebody says, oh, I'm just so busy I can't do.
Yeah.
No, you choose not to do.
Yep.
And that's unfortunate, a reality of what happens, but that is true. That why, that busyness or the next Netflix video or whatever it is more important than that choice you're making. And that's what we have to come to it. You know, like where a good example, I'm glad you brought all that up because it was, who's the guy that had the printing press? Edison? Was it Edison or Ben Franklin?
No, printing press is actually not Guggenheim, something with a G. That's quite interesting because...
Write in the description if you know it, or the comment below.
But the printing press was quite interesting because it was invented the same time that Martin Luther was in the world.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther is the one that wanted to make the Bible accessible to everybody. It wasn't Guggenheim. But the printing press came into fruition at the same time, so the Bible got out all across the world because of Martin Luther in the right timing of the printing press.
That's
it's really quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll think of his name randomly.
I think it's Edison that had the actual newspaper or something, though.
Well, no,
is it Ben Franklin?
Franklin had a newspaper.
That's what I wanted.
Franklin had a newspaper.
So Ben Franklin, there was this part where he had this guy come in, and it's a really rich guy, but he got rich and the wrong reasons, and Franklin knew about that. So he said, hey, I'd like to advertise a full-page ad in your thing, and here's the money.
Mm-hmm.
And so because he didn't like the morality of this guy, he said, okay, let me think about it, and let me do this overnight, and then I'll let you know, right? So he went home, and he actually slept on the floor of his house. Why? Because he wanted to see if he could get through a night's sleep with no furniture, because if he turned this guy down and his paper went belly up, was he still comfortable and was he still alive the next day? So he did that anytime he had to make a decision over something like that. So he went to this guy and said no, but his why was greater, right? Yeah. So it was just an interesting thought process that this guy was able to make that decision. But a lot of times it happens in health all the time. We want to do it when it's an emergency, but we need to do it when we're thinking of what our why is, and that's the thing.
And that's a tremendous statement that you said right there, because we've been both doing this, combined almost 40 years.
Yeah,
we're old. And so, the reality is we've had dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people that come in here with what they feel is willpower enough to finally kick smoking, finally eat better, finally lose the weight, finally, and willpower isn't enough.
Right.
It just isn't. Our willpower is just always going to take a beating, because there's always going to be a buddy who wants to go have a cigarette with you. There's always going to be someone that's going to invite you to an event that has amazing desserts. Mm-hmm. Are you really going to willpower yourself past that dessert table?
Right.
There's always going to be something stressing you, and so that's why you got to have your why greater than your why not.
Right.
That's the secret to making change. If you just think you're going to willpower yourself through it, you're not. It just doesn't work. No. So this is the trick. This is the secret. This is what's important, is understanding what your why is. I gave you mine. He just gave you the example of what Franklin was doing.
Yeah.
Figure yours out. Look around you. What do you want to be your best for the longest period of time?
Yep.
One of my other favorite quotes, I think I've even shared this before, but I'll share it again. I know the quote of this one. It's a guy named Andrew Merkel. He does a nutritional blood testing thing, and I went to a seminar, 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
He's out of Ohio somewhere. Don't hold that against him. And he ends his seminar and he says, train to be the fastest 100-year-old of all time. And he is in his mid-40s, at least when I went to his seminar. Yeah. And he says that. And I always ask people, if you're trained to be the fastest 100-year-old of all time, do you start at 99 training? 98,
right.
97?
Ooh, that's good.
You start in your mid-40s. And so he created a why to be the fastest 100-year-old of all time. That's his why. So he's able to walk past some bad foods. He's able to more likely take the nutritional supplements he needs to take. He's more likely to do the exercise he needs to do, because he is simply going, my why is greater than my why not.
Exactly.
That's what it is. That's the secret sauce really right there. It's not willpower.
Yep.
It's why. Yep. Your why is got to be greater than your why not.
That was when my whole health career change is when I said I'm going to practice chiropractic until I'm 80 years old. Yeah. The way we approach chiropractic, it's a physical thing. Mm-hmm. So if I don't do it, I have only 36 more years.
Yeah.
To get there, but
you might want to start your retirement party right now.
Exactly, but 80, that's what I wanted to do. And then by having some kind of future vision like that, you can actually start subconsciously making better choices as well.
Yeah, and he's right now you're doing different things for the next 35 plus years to sustain your body so you can do that. So you have that choice, have that option.
Yeah,
and so it's just thinking like that. So that's a secret sauce. If you need to make a change, it ain't willpower.
Nope.
It's your why's got to be greater than your why not.
Get that thing going and write it down. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Talk to people.
Put it on the fridge, put it on the mirror, whatever.
Yep. People will love you for it.
Yep.
So have a good one.